Hello and welcome to the use of TESOL strategies in early childhood education to achieve language acquisition. My name is Trina Jackson and I'm a master candidate in education with a concentration in TESOL. And this is my capstone project. Here are some outcomes that I hope that you get out of this presentation. One is to show how using TESOL strategies of repetition, gestures, and written words can help an ELL student be successful in language acquisition. The other is to understand that it is okay for an ELL to use nonverbal communication. It is commonly known as their silent period, and it is the first stage in acquiring a new language. Here are some objectives. Language objectives for TS goal number 37. Demonstrate progress in listening to and understanding English. Number 38, demonstrate progress in speaking. Connecticut L's L.48.2, understand increasingly complex sentences that include 2 to 3 concepts. For example, mix the white glue with shaving cream and add brown paint. CA.48.5, use different materials and techniques to make art creations that reflect thoughts, feelings, experiences, and knowledge. Content objectives, Connecticut ELD, Strand C, which is early learning experiences will support children to develop early literacy skills. DLL.B.14, begin to recognize that symbols, classroom, home, or community in the environment carry a consistent meaning in L1 or L2. DLL.M.15, recognize in the environment, classroom, home, or community, some familiar symbols, words, and print labels in L1 or L2. In the case of the project, the print is in English, which is L2 for the ELL student. Here are some interesting facts. By definition, all second language learners, regardless of age, have already acquired at least one language. Lightbound and Spada, 2011. Learners need access to language-rich environments. An English language learner is someone who learns 2 languages at the same time. And using visual arts is the great way of reinforcing vocabulary and helping with social skills. The activity I chose for this project is called Fluffy Winter Trees. The materials that we need would be construction paper of various colors, shaving cream, white glue, brown paint, paintbrush, Q-tips, and white paint. Of course, some containers. The procedure. We want to call over a group of children. If you need to work one-on-one, the project will take a little bit longer. But make sure that your ELL students are not in the same group because the whole purpose is that they are getting their English in and they're learning social skills from native English speakers. And you want to have a mixture of talkers and non-talkers so those talkers can really get those verbal skills with the non-talkers. And make sure materials are labeled on the table and seen below. Once you have the children at the table, you're going to let them know that today we're making fluffy winter trees, as we have been learning about trees the whole unit. And to make the trees, we are going to use our own arms and hands. And you want to make sure you have some questions that are going to elicit some type of response. So you don't want to just do yes or no questions. We want to make sure our questions are open-ended. So we want to make sure we use like, what are the parts of the tree? And what do we see in the winter? Like, what do the trees look like? What does it smell like? Is it cold? Is it hot? And for your ELL student, you want to make sure that if they are nonverbal, that you have some pictures for them to look at. And as you're asking them questions, maybe they can point. Like you can ask them, where's the snow? Is the snow? Where's the white snow? Or where's the blue sky? Where's the tree trunk? Where's the leaves? Are there leaves? They may say yes, they may say no, they may actually be verbal. You want to make sure your students wear a smock because with this activity they will get messy. And you're going to have students pick out whichever color paper they want, or if it's easier, you can have them choose between maybe 3 colors. And you want to make sure that they are asking for the paper by name. And if they are not asking by name, if they point, you say, oh, I see that you're pointing to the pink paper. Would you like pink paper? And the child may shake their head yes or nod their head no. And, and that is okay for them to do. As I've said earlier, this is considered their silent period. So we want to make sure you have your shaving cream, your glue. They're going to mix them with this, either they could use their hands or they could use a paintbrush, because some children don't like to get messy. So using a paintbrush is fine. And then they're going to add the brown paint. And as they're adding the shaving cream and the glue together, they're going to notice the different textures. So if you want to do beforehand, they can touch the shaving cream, they can touch the glue, and they can see what they look like apart. And as they add them together, we could talk about what it looks like as they're going together and what it feels like. And you can make note of what they're saying and how they're looking. And once your paint is mixed together, you can brush the paint on their arm. And for the students that don't really want to have paint on their arm, that's perfectly okay too. They can use what they mixed and just put it right on the paper and make their own tree. And for your ELL student, you want to make sure that you are touching their arm where you want them to put the paint on, and just let them know that you are gesturing that you are painting your arm, and then you're going to put your arm on the paper. And once their arm is on the paper, you want to make sure that it dries. So this activity will take a few days. As you know, there are 20 students in the classroom, and you want to make sure that each kid who wants to do it will do it, and you want to make sure that they have their ample time. So once the paint is dry, the next day you can take the activity out, and the students who wish, they can use a Q-tip and gently put the Q-tip in the white paint, and they can create either their snow or they can create clouds. And if they don't want to use the white paint, that's fine. If they want to say, hey, I want to do yellow, that's fine. You could take out yellow paint and they can use the Q-tip and put little dots of yellow paint on their trees. But you just want to make sure that they're having fun and that you're asking those questions like, what are you going to use the yellow paint for? And, and just make sure that you're getting those open-ended questions. And for the wrap-up, we want to make sure that there are a lot of visuals for this activity so that the students really understand what they're doing. And you want to make sure that you're connecting what they're doing with what they've already learned about trees. So you want to keep asking, what else can we put on a tree? What else do trees have? Using a lot of language and gestures when describing the activity. And it's okay if the student doesn't talk. They can point, or they can bring you to a room where they can show you what it looks like, because they are still learning those skills. And make sure that children are talking while doing this activity, and keep asking those questions, because we want to make sure that they are staying engaged. And I would like to thank all of you for listening to my presentation. Here is a list of my references, and I just wanted to make sure to let you know that all of the visuals that you've seen in this presentation were taken from Bing.com with Creative Commons. And at the end of this presentation, there will be an assessment that I would like for you to fill out and get back to me at your earliest convenience. And thank you again.